Here we go. Teddy, I got on UberFacts on Twitter, and you started your little Twitter account. What about how long you been on Twitter now? About a year?
About a year.
You've been digging it, huh? It's fun.
Oh yeah, it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun.
Well, I started following UberFacts. Did you start following them yet?
No.
Well, I got some facts for you. Here we go.
All right.
Teddy, did you know that the United Kingdom drinks about 165 million cups of tea a day, or 62 billion cups per year? The United
No, I
Kingdom
didn't.
drinking about 165 million cups of tea a day. Man, there's some tea drinking mother suckers. Teddy, that's a lot of damn tea, brother.
Yes, it is.
Teddy, if you lived in England, now this is hypothetical, speculation at best. Do you think you'd be enjoying a cup of hot tea?
Man, I guess so. I mean, you do what everybody does over there.
Yeah,
I'm a coffee guy.
spot of tea.
Because that's what we
Yeah,
drink here.
yeah. Man, I could
Yeah,
see
as
you
long
walking around. You about 6'5", 245, walking around with a little bitty ass teacup with your goddamn finger pointed up in the air.
yeah, my little pinky out there. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
boy,
me.
I'd be madder than a damn hornet. All right, Teddy, moving on. Hey, man, UK, I got a lot of people in the United Kingdom that listen to the show. So, swig of tea for the working man and the working woman over in the UK. I appreciate all you guys and gals that sent in your emails to questions at steveaustenshow.com. And I enjoyed coming over there and wrestling and all the places I did over in England. And a cup of tea, Teddy, had a lot to do with how I got the name Stone Cold Steve Austin when I was watching that special back in the day when I just started with WWF. And I'd been watching a special on the Iceman, Richard Kuklinski, and about how he was just so cold-blooded and ruthless. And then I pitched that idea to the office, and they sent me back the 3 pages of BS names. I've told this story a million times, but it goes in with the UberFacts. And then my wife at the time, who was from England, made me a cup of hot tea, and she set it on the table, and she said, "Don't worry about it. You'll think of something. Just go ahead and drink your tea before it gets so. Just go ahead and drink your tea before it gets stone cold." And she said, "That's your name, Stone Cold Steve Austin." So, swig of tea to the United Kingdom folks and a cup of tea. Teddy, moving on. Teddy, did you know this? If you Google the word tilt, T-I-L-T, the whole screen will tilt slightly.
No, I did not know that either.
I did not know it either, but it said it on UberFacts. So you know what I did? I Googled tilt, and the whole screen did tilt slightly. I Googled then tit just to make sure it wasn't, playing up on me, and tit did not tilt the screen. Then I said, okay, maybe I'll fool it, and I put in built, B-I-L-T, and it didn't tilt. Then I put tilt back in, and the screen tilted slightly. So that's a true statement, Ted Fowler. And if you get around to it, when you're not out there killing snakes and feeding protein feeders, patching up fence, blowing the dirt daubers mud out of my tractors, you should get on a computer and Google in tilt. Boy, it's a lot of fun.
I will make that a priority this evening.
But before you do it, pop a top on a nice cold Sierra Nevada Torpedo Extra IPA, pour it into an ice cold glass, and drink it while you do it. Dig
All
this,
right.
Teddy. Flamethrowers are legal in 40 states, and you can buy one for $300. Did you know that?
No.
Now,
No,
why in the flying duck would someone need a flamethrower? They're legal in 40 states.
Boy, it'd be nice to have one of those to knock down some of those tumbleweeds.
Boy, I tell you what, we got some tumbleweeds that grew up on the ranch, and we ain't never had a tumbleweed out on that ranch till the oil field came in there. And I think they drug in some seeds or wherever from some other part of Texas and infested the damn ranch. But as the wind gusts, blows those things across the ranch on our west fence line, was that east? That's that west fence line. On that west fence line, those things have all piled up. So if we had a flamethrower and just drive down there after a good rain, and we were talking about that earlier. I was talking about, gas and those things when it rains like hell, but it never did rain like hell, so we could go burning things because they are just a pain in the ass to look at. They're just so damn hideous. And I mowed a bunch of them down, but my Komodo tractor was broken, and Teddy just fixed it. So maybe if I stop talking to Ted, he can get back on a Komodo tractor and go cut some more tumbleweeds down.
You remember how much fun we had playing with fire last year?
Oh, man. All right, here we go. Back on the phone with Ted Fowler. I having so many technology problems. Ted's phone's acting up down there at the Broken Skull Ranch in South Texas. Talking about playing with fire. We was burning a couple of burn pits that we had. These big holes dug in the ground where we put a bunch of old junk and trash you wanted to burn, and then get a bulldozer and cover those holes up. And I found out real quick, Teddy, that I cannot outrun gas. I damn near blew my dumb ass up.
I was there.
Well, you could have helped a brother out and doused me in a little bit of water. But, Teddy, a flamethrower is legal in 40 states. And I figured, I'm basically walking around with a flamethrower 24/7 because my ass is a flamethrower. You give me a can of black beans, mister, and I can throw a flame about 4 foot long. Teddy, dig this. Moving on. If you Google do a barrel roll, the whole screen will literally do a barrel roll. Teddy, I attempted this because I had to find out if this was true or not. And I watched a video of it happen on YouTube. But when I Googled do a barrel roll, not a damn thing happened. And it might have been because I have so many windows open up on my computer that nothing happened. But nonetheless, if you Google do a barrel roll tonight when you're drinking your Torpedo Extra IPA, see if your screen does a barrel roll. Teddy, now, I've got one for you. And this is going to interest you because you're a single cat. A man is more likely to get a woman's phone number if he is accompanied by a dog.
Dude, that's why I got 2 of them.
I'm going to come down to the ranch here pretty quick. You're going to have about 10 of them. So Teddy, you take Cassie out a lot. Tula, your German short hair, is off in training. She's probably got about another 3 or 4 weeks in training. So it's been just you and Cassie, your chocolate lab. So you take Cassie around a lot with you when you're running your errands. Do chicks just come up to you and start talking to you and say, "Oh, what a pretty dog," and there's your connection?
Yeah, the girls do, but you know how she is with the guys. She growls at guys. Which
yeah, but you ain't trying to pick up a guy. I'm talking about girls.
Yeah, yeah, no, she's a perfect wingman for me. Growls at the guys and loves the girls.
There we go, and that's what we like. Teddy, did you know you can buy an authentic war tank, stripped of weapons, of course, for about $60,000 US?
Mm.
Now, see, the way I was looking at it, Teddy, that sounds like a lot of damn money. But when you think about how many times that the Three Rivers Performance Automotive has come down and with their tow trucks and loaded up my Broncos and my Polarises up on the back of their flatbed truck and hauled them into Three Rivers to fix them and then bring them back, it might be cheaper to fight these rats, to go against them with an authentic war tank. I think I speak the truth. We get us a couple tanks out there, we do some modifications, we put our weapons on these tanks, and we go to war with these damn rats. Because I got on a damn security camera the other day, Teddy, and one of those last night, as a matter of fact. How long you been at the ranch?
Last night.
Oh, so you got there last night. Well,
yeah.
I don't know what you were doing, but about 11 p.m., I got on the damn cameras there, and I got a Kawasaki KLX 450 in the barn. Teddy, you just took it to Rockport and had that thing fixed because it had been sitting there for a couple of years. I hadn't ridden it, had 2 flat tires. Them damn rats was out there riding wheelies in the parking lot. Did you not see or hear that?
11 o'clock last night, I was inside drinking beer watching the ball game.
Boy, I appreciate you having my back on this one. The
Dude,
thing
I told
about
you, I'm afraid of the dark, man. I ain't going out there.
Okay, before we get to you being afraid of the dark, see, here's the thing, Teddy. Now, I don't mind if the rats are riding my dirt bike, but they're out there riding it without a helmet. Now, if one of those rats was to roll that motorcycle and have a crash, I could be open for a lawsuit because I know they will come after me.
Yeah. I'm trying to think we can work in a spot for legal Zoom here.
Hey, that's a damn good idea. I'm calling legal Zoom as soon as I hang up. Teddy, let's move on. It often rains diamonds on Uranus and Neptune.
I'm not even going to touch that one.
I saw where you was going with that. That's why I didn't touch it either. We're going to move right along to the next shenanigan.
Tuesday show.
Yeah. If I'd asked you on the Unleashed show, we could have had a little fun with that one. But we're going to this. Ted, bees and wasps can be trained like dogs to detect explosives and drugs. Now, I'm not sure I can jive with that because, I mean, like, what kind of bee or wasp they talking about? They talking about a bumblebee? They talking about a yellow jacket? They talking about a red wasp? What are they talking about?
How's it going to alert you that it has found a bomb?
I think maybe they train the wasp to come back and sting you if it finds drugs. But hell, the guys got so tired of being stung, they just decided not to use the bees anymore. And then how big are the harnesses that they have these? Do they have them on a leash and then they let them go? Because when they walk around with them dogs, they got them on a leash.
Yeah.
They got them on a little piece of thread.
I don't know. That whole deal sounds a little bit hokey.
Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, bees and wasps, I don't know if they can be trained like dogs to detect explosives and drugs. I mean, what do you do? Give the little bastards a flag and they start waving the flag up? I mean, how do they signal to the damn detective that we got something here? Yeah. Teddy, ancient Romans would use a sponge on a stick instead of toilet paper.
Ooh.
I mean,
right.
Okay, and that's kind of all you can say about that one. But and maybe, Teddy, that's where the old saying, somebody's got to stick up his ass, comes from. It could be back from the Roman days.
Don't most words originate from, the Latin, Latin meaning?
Hell, dude, you asking that. I can't remember yesterday, much less a couple thousand years ago. Moving on. Teddy, there was an UberFact that says 8 things you didn't know alcohol was doing to your body. And then it had a link that you could click on to get those 8 things. I just didn't have the heart to click on the 8 things. I'd rather keep drinking the alcohol. So I don't know the 8 things that
don't forward me that.
Yeah. All right, here's one for you, Teddy. Research has shown that people are happiest at 7:26 p.m. on Saturday night.
Why? What happens at 7:26?
Well, I don't know, but that's what research has shown. Now, I want to see the group of scientists that are sitting around doing the research that come up with the conclusion that at 7:26 p.m. on a Saturday night, that's when people are at their happiest. Are they going door to door? Are they knocking on people's houses and going in and saying, hey, check it out. Were you happier now than you were at 7:20? How does this, or they go to the guy's house at like 7:35 and say, are you happy? Go, well, I was happier I was a lot more happy at 7:26, but now that you got here, some kind of melancholy. So how did they put this research together is what I'm asking you. You're the man with the plan and the brains.
I think they'd be more happy on Friday. It's payday.
Well, see, look, swig a beer for the working man. He's happy on payday. That makes sense. All right, talking about the working man. Snoop Dogg states that he gave up pimping in 2004 so he could spend more time with his family. I'm going to repeat that. Snoop Dogg states that he gave up pimping in 2004 so he could spend more time with his family. And all I got to say about that is swig a beer for the working man. Trying to spend more time with his family. Paying those gimmicks they keep sending in the mail called bills. Teddy, there's a species of cactus known as the dildo cactus. There's a species of cactus known as the dildo cactus. I thought they was all a bunch of pricks, but this one must really take the cake. See what I did there?
I heard.
The dildo. Now, we ain't got no dildo cactuses out at the Broken Skull. We got, pear cactus and some barrel?
Yeah.
But I ain't seen a dildo cactus out that sumbitch, but I ain't been over to your crib either. So if you got any dildo cactuses over there, I don't know anything about them.
None here.
Teddy, Volkswagen is a Swedish word for a person who has had sex with a person you've already had sex with.
Say that one again.
Volkswagen is a Swedish word for a person who has had sex with a person you've already had sex with. I guess I guess you could translate that into sloppy seconds.
Yeah.
Yeah, anyway, moving on. All right, here you go, Teddy. Some men experience instant feelings of sadness and regret after sex, and it's known as postcoital tristesse. Sadness and regret, after you had sex, I'm usually happier than hell then, unless I came too quick. Then I get postcoital tristesse.
Yeah, that regret usually hits me in the morning, if it hits me at all. Yeah, but not the sadness part.
Oh, you talking about when the beer wears off? Oh, whoa, what did I
You
get?
wake up in the morning, you wake up and you're like, dude, really?
Yeah, boy. I want to say thanks to the makers of the torpedo. Hey, Teddy, I got one more for you before we ride off into the sunset and I turn this little show in. I appreciate everybody listening here, and I'm going to wrap this thing up after I say goodbye to Teddy. Teddy, tug of war was once an official Olympic sport. Tug of war was once an official Olympic sport. Can you dig that?
Man, I would imagine, way back in the day with the Romans and, the wrestling and, hand-to-hand combat, the stuff they did, I don't see why they wouldn't.
Man, that's just crazy, ain't it? Tug of war. I wonder how many cats they had on each team.
No telling.
There ain't no telling.
No